Yes, we're ready to go.
Let me hit go live on
Sorry for the
YouTube here.
confusion.
It just needs to spool up. I need just a few seconds. Okay, Madam Chair, we are live. The meeting is yours. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Melvin,
Yep.
Long Break,
Yes.
Psycho,
Yes.
Jeremy's here, Kruger,
Yeah.
All right. We're going to start with approval of December's minutes. So I'll need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve December's minutes.
Okay. Motion by Melvin,
I'll second.
second by Kruger. All those in favor?
roll call.
Aye.
We have to do a roll call. So Long Break,
Yes.
Psycho,
Yes.
Jeremy's yes, Kruger,
Yes.
Melvin,
Yes.
thank you.
All right. Any additions to the agenda? If not, need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Motion by Long Break,
Second.
second by Melvin. Okay, and
Roll call, yeah.
all those
Psycho,
in favor? Yes.
Jeremy's yes, Kruger,
Yes.
Melvin,
Yes.
Long Break,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. Going on to chairperson's report, communications. I did receive email from the Commerce Township Lowe's manager, and she is willing to help our Eagle Scout with this project. So with supplies in the spring, whenever he's ready. So
That's awesome.
yes, they've been tremendous in helping us with the decorations. Very generous, and so I'm glad we have a partnership with them. And I did send photos of the memorial to them so they could see what we were doing and what we made with their donation. So it was much appreciated.
Thanks
we're-
to Fred.
Yes, Fred, thank you for sending us in that direction, because it was the right door to knock on. And thank you for going there to pick up all the supplies for the decorations. And then everyone came out and helped get it together. It was nice and quick. And speaking of which, we'll get to later disassembling the decorations. But okay, for right now, I'd like to go to call the public and open it up to Bonnie Beach. And just for you that don't know Bonnie, she is a supporter of our project, and she's helped with her time as far as when the plantings were putting. She was there that day when she got the cider and donuts for everyone, and she helped out with her shovel and jumped into action. She's bought a whole bunch of bricks, and also her brother is the gentleman who is sponsoring the POWMIA flagpole. So
Wonderful.
and Bonnie has idea that she would like to put forward to the committee, and just to get some feedback and see where we can take things. So Bonnie, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
I live over in Tampa, everybody. So, and I've been here 49 years.
Mm,
And I used to be on the planning commission for 17 and Parks and Rec. So
wow.
I'm anxious to be a volunteer again in my old age now. But anyways, one of the things that I liked was maybe a memorial for the war dogs. That I know when we do the packing party, they're always there taking donations for the dogs. And there's a beautiful war dog memorial in South Lyon. But I thought maybe a small monument or something honoring the service dogs and the canines, maybe for the police dogs, might be a nice addition to this new memorial.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Would that interfere at all with the War Dog Memorial? And is it Wixom?
South Lion.
No, isn't there one in Wixom, Ron?
No,
South
I keep
Lyon.
on talking about the one in South Lyon. I've gone to some of their actual ceremonies and things.
Okay, yeah.
Really it's a terrific memorial. And when I should get back onto this. I don't know how you can still hear me, right? But anyway, where I went to other memorials like the one out in Lake Orion, they have just a separate spot or for war dogs. So some of the memorials do have a separate part just for the war dogs. My biggest concern would be the fact that our memorial isn't really that large. It's smaller than a lot of these other ones by comparison. So I'm not sure exactly where we would put it, but I'm definitely open to the idea of putting one in. Oh, here we go.
I wasn't thinking of actually having the dogs buried there because there is that beautiful one in South Lyon, and that's where all the actual war dogs and the ceremonies are performed. I was just thinking of maybe a little stone with a dog on it and something like, I looked up a couple of sayings. They have like, to honor and remember all handlers and their faithful canines and war dog partners for their service and sacrifice. Just a little something somewhere.
I don't see why that wouldn't be doable.
Okay.
Somebody wanted to buy a brick for one of the a war dog. It can certainly go into the memorial as well. I can't imagine there'd be any objections to that. So we could have this stone or whatever we come up with, and then we could also somewhere near the memorial or a part of it, and then we can also have, if anybody wants to do memorial bricks to honor a service animal, they could be in the circle as well.
Well, one of the things, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say one of the things we can do is like she said, a small area for a statue or some kind of a plaque or something like it. It could be easily worked into the garden on either the south side by the sidewalk or by the walk that leads to the trails, or the north side. Actually create a little half circle area for, like, maybe say between where we're going to put the benches. We'll have the benches set up and there could be an opening where something like that could be put in.
Couldn't it be just like a plaque like we're doing? That's something that would just fit perfectly like in the garden, but be raised and where you could have a light on it.
Well, that's exactly what I'd be happy to, from my end, to put something together in the drawing to see what we could work in. You're right that we have the low voltage lighting, and it'd be real easy to add a light onto possibly a statue or something like that. That would be awesome.
It'd be cool if we could get like a large dog.
Well, there's
But
plenty
we're
of them.
probably talking a lot of money, right?
Not necessarily.
I could look into it.
Yeah,
They-
I was going to suggest researching, how much it would be to get the statue. And then since we're having plaques made, we could have a plaque made or something carved into a stone near it, or, something like that. So if you would like to research that, and I don't know, Ron, if you'd be willing to help her design something.
Yeah,
That would be great,
I can
Ron.
throw something together real easy.
Okay.
That would be nice.
That would be
And-
very nice.
something simple and does the job as far as, you know, honoring the war dogs and military.
Well, you know
Police
who
dog.
else would be involved is a contact for that I haven't talked to in a while, unfortunately, but who's talking to us about the plaques. You know, he has that monument store, and
Okay.
I'm sure that between him and, you know, we come up with some pretty cool ideas. But it would be nice to actually be a statue as a something that people would look at and see right away,
Right,
and not necessarily have to read like a plaque. You know,
Correct.
right.
the plaque could describe what the statue's for, but
Right.
yeah, no, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Most of them that I have seen is, they use like a German Shepherd dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's what they have. And it would be a statue of one sitting, or, you know, they have a lot of different ones I was just looking at, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fred, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, maybe the gentleman,
I'll bring your phone up to your mouth, please.
sorry. Ron, maybe the gentleman from the South Lion would have some information on those dogs.
That who would, Fred?
The gentleman from the South Lion War Dog Memorial.
Yes,
Bonnie, do you
'Cause
know
I know
him
the-
directly?
no, I don't, but I
Well,
was,
Fred's talked to him.
I'll
I've
be-
talked to him.
Yeah, and I have too.
Oh, I think that would be real nice. I mean, a guardian.
that would be
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
Right. Okay, great. So we're not having a meeting for February, but for March. So that gives we have some time to research and do some design work and come back with something when we get a little closer to spring. So we'll be getting ready to do plannings. You know, maybe we can have this to put in when we get ready to do that with
That
the
would be real nice.
yeah, it'd be a nice
Good
addition.
idea,
So,
Bonnie.
Thank you.
so
Very good
yeah,
idea.
thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to call the public while it is open? Anyone else?
There is no one else on the line at this point,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
All right, then we will close to the public and go on to new business. So, Fred, we're going to go back to you. I wanted to introduce Fred. He would be interested in becoming a member of the committee. So in order to do that, we would need to vote. Fred, I don't know if you would like to give your soapbox speech about yourself and what work you've done, but just to let people know your volunteer work in the community and the fact that you're a veteran, you know, is something that we would commend. So yeah, I'll turn it over to you. Don't forget to pick up your phone.
Yeah, oh, right. Well, I lived in the village for 35 years. I am a veteran, Vietnam veteran. I'm retired from healthcare. I was in healthcare purchasing for 40 years. I've got 2 kids that are grown and they grew up in Walled Lake and all that. I'm divorced, but I've got a girlfriend and she lives here in Walled Lake. I've worked on the corn roast committee, did the car show. I'm a car guy. I enjoy working in the village, doing things, helping people out. I started this a few years ago with Debbie, and then I got out of it. And Kelly called and said, "Hey, come on back." So I appreciate that. I don't know what else. I'm retired, so I have time on my hands. So,
All right. And you'd like to be on? All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would.
All right. So we'll need a motion for that.
I can make the motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
Motion by Kruger, second by
second
Melvin.
it. Yep.
All right. Roll call.
Giramini, yes. Kruger,
Yes.
Malbin,
Yes.
Long Break,
Yes.
Psycho.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome to the committee, Fred. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
You're in
a
trouble now,
wonderful-
Fred.
Thank you all.
Got a list of stuff for you to do. So
Right.
Okay.
You're no longer retired. We're putting you to work.
Right, right.
All right. So now that you're a committee member, our next item is to make a recommendation to council to establish a park sign on that Glengarry entrance for Clara Miller Park. Just to give everyone a little background, we went out there and I got permission from the administrator to put an address marker in. So Ron installed that. So we actually have, it's marked 855. So you can actually see where you're going to turn into for the parking lot. And then people that are trying to find the memorial have an address assigned so they can actually, you
That's
can give
wonderful.
directions. So you can plug it in on your phone and get there. So that's the
Right.
whole goal, is to find the place. So, we have that huge electronic sign on the other side of the Benstein entrance. And we have nice updated signs around the village. And it just makes sense to have a sign at that part of the park so people can understand that is part of Clara Miller Park. And my advice would be to get the sign marked in some way that's at least states it's the Vita Trail entrance and the Veterans Memorial entrance. So that just helps out the community because, it's just a parking lot random in the middle of the field at this point. And either you live nearby and know what it is, or you're driving by and you have no idea what that connects to.
So you're not looking to do a separate sign for the Veterans Memorial that would be over close to the memorial?
Not at this point. I think that it would be, since it is the entrance to the park, it would be nice to have a park entrance sign at the entrance. I mean, we can put up a Veterans Memorial sign, at some point, but I think, just letting people know that this is part of the park, it's kind of overdue.
But couldn't you put like two signs on one pole? The park entrance and then right below it, Veterans Memorial?
Why not just have it all on one sign?
Could be.
I mean, you're looking at one spot to see it all, right?
Right.
Where are you thinking of putting that sign? What side of the park, what side of the entrance, and how do you foresee it being configured?
I would have to go out there, I think, to see, because it depends. It's really, the goal is just to get the sign approved by the village, and I think they would have to make the determinations where they're going to put the sign.
Now, would the village be paying for the sign, or are we
Yes.
paying for the sign?
Yes, this is a recommendation to council to get a sign in it. I mean, it's part of the park master plan to update signage throughout the park. So it's not like, I'm coming out of left field or something. This is something that's already something that, is in the works to be done eventually. I'm just kind of,
Moving it
putting
along.
putting it in the forefront to get done.
Is there a park sign on the other entrance?
Yeah, there's what was that sign? $30,000 electronic sign.
Oh, wow. Well,
yeah, the Benstein line,
Yeah.
There's like and then there are, including on the Glengarry side, there's those really old and beat up park rules signs, but there is nothing that you notice as you're driving by that stands out that you would say, oh, this is a.
That sign over on Clara Miller, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that sign over by Clara Miller Park, it's really not a sign for the park. It's a sign for
The village.
the
yeah.
village, because it constantly talks about events that are happening and things like that. There's not really, I don't know, does it say anywhere on it that it's Clara
I was
Miller?
gonna say, wasn't there something there at one time that said Clara Miller?
Like I said, there's those little old signs that they're kind of set into the park. I don't know if there has been in the last several years.
Yeah, I think that just has the village logo and it says Village of Wolverine Lake on it.
Mhm.
But at least you have some indicator of the entrance, and it's a park.
And that it
You
is a
know.
part of Clara Miller, as you were saying.
Right.
Yeah, I never knew that where the Veterans Memorial was Clara Miller. I never
Yeah.
knew it was attached.
Yeah, runs straight through.
Surprise, surprise. Yeah, it's all connected. And I think a lot of people don't realize it's connected. So any further discussion, or would anyone like to make a motion on it? Does anyone have any input?
I just have a question,
Sure.
I don't care. I'm just being legal, as Mark would say. Doesn't this have to go to Park and Rec first before it goes to council?
That's what I would think.
I mean,
Because we're a subcommittee of Park and Rec, correct?
The sign purchases recently made throughout the village they were through council, not through Park and Rec.
We were through Park and Rec first. We
Really?
asked
did we?
signs.
Oh, I don't know. I
Yes.
mean,
It was,
they
we did
budgeted
it
for
down
them
at the
before.
park.
Okay. I
Yeah,
don't
we
remember that.
asked for,
Oh yeah, were we? Okay. It's been a
yeah.
long year.
I mean, I don't care. I just trying to make sure
I
it's
mean,
legal.
it wouldn't be a matter. It's not a legal issue because technically, Park and Rec doesn't have to recommend anything. Council has the liberty
Yeah,
to do whatever. it
Yeah.
wants.
But I just thought everything had to go.
This is just a recommendation to council, but I did contact the administrator, and I asked, to do this so it's on
Yeah.
the council's agenda next week. So he said to go through and make the formal recommendation through the committee. So
Yeah, veterans has the ability to make recommendations to council. It's not a.
Right.
So
Yeah, we haven't-
a subcommittee.
How does that play in with, because isn't the Veterans Memorial a subcommittee of Park and Rec?
Yeah, but I don't think there's any reason why I don't know. If
I'm
there's
just-
rules that-
I'm just asking because I didn't
Yeah,
want
I think
somebody to say something later.
I mean, it wouldn't be an issue because, I mean, at the end of the day, if council says yes, it doesn't matter who. I mean, Park and Rec can theoretically object, but it's,
Yeah.
it's still not spending power at all.
No, but if we
Okay,
have to
I
start
just wanted-
making recommendations to the council, we've sort of been on on the sideline of it. Then are they going to start wanting us to make more recommendations to them? Because
Well,
we
we're ma-
sort of bypassed that whole thing
Well,
before.
Well,
Are you talking about?
most of the things that we've done that are that you would say we're bypassing are things that were strictly committee funds being spent or just all in pursuit of the end product, which is the memorial, which was approved. This is a little bit different because it's village funds as opposed to
yes,
park or veterans
Veterans
funds. And so,
yeah,
It's-
we're asking the village just to simply put a sign up. That's all that's being requested.
Are
And
they
would
going to
be
come
paying
back
for it.
to us and ask us to design or come up with the sign, or?
I wouldn't mind if they would like input, but as far as I know, it's that would be a decision for council to make.
Well, yeah, because if we got that ability, that would give us kind of creative control of the sign.
Yeah,
that-
I
Does that sound right?
When we make the recommendation to council, can we say we
Yes.
would like to have this included on the sign?
Yes, we can recommend to council that they establish a sign at that entrance, and also to name the features of that location. So the Vita Trail and the Veterans Memorial would be the two attractions for that area. So, I mean, it could go further, but it's a general sign to say, you know, Clara Miller Park, Glengarry entrance, Vita Trail, and Veterans Memorial. I mean, it's not a complex sign. It's very simple. It's just so people know, oh, I've arrived here at the park entrance. I know where I'm going. Or carpooling and meeting someone there to do walking or exercise, or somebody who's coming to visit the memorial. It's just, it helps identify where things are for our village. And that's all I'm asking, is that the village, you know, put up the sign.
Basic directional sign.
Yeah.
And it could be done in the same format as all the other signs, because one thing with the new signs that were put in and that, you know, they all look somewhat similar. So if it was designed in such a way that it would look similar to a lot of the other signs, that would provide unity.
Yes. Since they just got those signs, and it's probably, you know, not too much of a problem to add one more.
Well, I think, yeah, as long as you stick with that same.
But what would we have to look at we have to look at Clara Miller to see if they need a new sign over there, something a little bit more pronounced than what they have, because nobody seems to know if there's even a sign there.
There is a need for signage in the parks in general. In that park system.
So it can be presented that
we do have, for example, the Amelia Park sign and a Oak Island Park sign for our pocket parks. So we have done it for other
so
sections.
we're upgrading for Clara Miller on both ends of the park.
That would be fine. Yeah.
But I mean, at the very least, we'd like to.
At the very least, we'd like that entrance marked, but yeah, so we just need to frame a motion here.
I'll make a motion to ask council for a sign for the entrance of the park, with also on the same sign for the Vita Trail and for the Veterans Memorial.
I'll second it.
Okay. Mark, do you have that language? I'm just seeing how he's wording this before we.
Is Mark going to present this to the council, or are
It's
you
going to be on? It's going to be on their agenda.
I mean, I'll be there, obviously. So
yeah.
So we erect a sign at the Glengarry entrance, including the name of the
Clara
park.
Miller Park entrance. That's in there.
And information regarding the Vita Trail and Veterans Memorial, including the name of the park.
I don't know if it needs to have information on there, but just just the attractions for the Vita Trail and the Veterans Memorial.
Highlighting the Vita Trail.
Okay, so Debbie's got a motion to establish. What do you have written? I don't want to. I just want to make sure it's covered.
Sign at the Glengarry entrance of Clara Miller Park, including the name of the park, while highlighting the Vita Trail and Veterans Memorial.
Awesome. Does anyone want to add anything to that motion? I'll need a second on it first.
Lori, second.
Lori,
second. Okay. Any further discussion? All right, then we can go ahead and vote on that.
Kruger.
Yes.
Melvin.
Yes.
Long Break.
Yes.
Psycho.
Yes.
Dramini is a yes. Meisner,
Yeah, yes.
Okay, motion carries. All right. And then we'll get down to working business. Mark, were you able to get some balances?
didn't even have to ask. Mike
Oh.
Conduct sent it to me before I could even email him.
Oh, great.
He's figured this out. So we have, in terms of funds available, we are at $17,314.78. This is as of the end of December. Funds raised in December of $968.17. And then expenses, which we discussed in the last meeting, were a total of, they were at the beginning of the year, or at the beginning of the month. They were all the costs that Ron had submitted and things. That was a total of $6,644.48. So.
All right.
Yep.
All right. And then we'll go on to Ron. Had you had any time to research plaques?
Well, I just have that original information that I had last time.
Okay.
We still need to come up with a list of people that are going to be, whose names would be on these plaques.
Okay.
So
We can work on that.
Hey, Ron, did you talk to the gentleman from the War Dog Memorial?
well, regarding the plaques, no. I'm working with a gentleman that lives in the village who has
Oh.
the monument company. I can't pronounce his last name, but
Iteka?
yeah, I can't remember. You know, he came up with
Right.
some numbers for me and stuff like that. But we haven't gone any further because we really need to develop some kind of a list to determine how many people we're actually going to need to put on that list.
Okay. Yeah, we can get together and get that worked out, and that way we know what size plaques we're using and going with. And for Bonnie, for your brother, to let him know how much space he's got to put on there. And I have what the chief has, what he would like on his plaque. So I have a little bit of that information.
Well, the plaques are we're talking about 4 by 6 inch or 2 by 6 inch.
Okay.
And the prices that Gary sent me before was the bronze plaque, 16 by 20 inch plaque, is $1,330.
Okay.
The 2 by 6 inch strips or additional plaques are $140 each, and the 4 by 6 are $160 each. So we're spending $1,330 for the basic plaque, where we're adding all these other names and everything to them.
Okay.
And I do have that design, that drawing that shows an example on one plaque, 2 4 by 6 and 8 2 by 6 would fit
Okay.
nicely on one plaque. And I'm not sure what the limitations are when it comes to how many letters you can put on it and stuff like that.
Okay.
But are we gonna need 2 plaques?
Well, we have the room for as many as, I think it was 8 plaques if we wanted them. Initially, I'd want to go for at least 2.
Right.
Preferably 4 if we have enough people that have made donations. But, once we see the number, we'll be able to determine that better.
Is that you, Debbie?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can you just,
It's not by me. It's gonna shut off right now.
all right.
In regarding the plaques, these are the ones where we could take the 2 by 4 or the 4 by 6, or 2 by 6 or 4 by 6 and mount it later on.
Onto the plaque.
Correct? Yeah.
Right.
So if you had new names come in and so forth. Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
They're similar to the
Okay.
ones that were used at the Oakland Veterans Memorial in Oakland Township.
Okay.
And then I had the individual plaques. I'll have to look up to see what they were. The ones that were on the metal stakes that we would put like in front of the flagpoles and things like that to highlight the people that made the donations of some of the individual things like the flagpoles, or if we get a tree sponsored or need to highlight anything separately.
Okay. All right, we'll definitely have time to work on that. I think I'll just get with you and me and Mark, maybe get together over phone or whatever, and brainstorm all these names and stuff, get a list going. And then that way we know what size, how many, and
And I'll forward over to you guys some pictures. I can, if I have everybody's email, I can send everybody pictures of what I'm talking about, with the different plaques. And I have
okay.
the sketch of how they would be mounted on the pillars in such a way, because we put a light on each of the pillars, which would highlight, shine down onto them in the evenings, of course. And since nothing is final, definitely open to other ideas if anybody can think of them. But these are the ones that last the longest. We're using, I think it was bronze, was
Yes.
the type of plaque, and so
Yep.
Bottom line, it's being done. This is the right kind. Yeah, bronze plaques. So.
Well,
All right. Oh,
I
Debbie, go
trust
ahead.
you, Ron.
Well, I'm new to this, but I'm also going to have some plaques done for something else. So I'm going to kind of go the same direction, so.
All
Good.
right. All right. We'll move on to updates, work needed for the memorial. So the next thing to do with the memorial, I'd like to get out there maybe this weekend to take down the Christmas decorations. So maybe Saturday, Sunday. It shouldn't take very long. Mark has offered to store the garland in his garage until he can get to the village to store it. So the wreaths, those ones are real, so we can compost them. I'll compost them so we don't have to throw them away. And then, yeah, so I don't know what day works best, but if someone can meet me out there, I'm pretty free this weekend.
Well, I can do Saturday around 11 o'clock.
Oh, does that work for you, Fred?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, Saturday at 11.
Because I feed the birds at 10, so.
Ah,
Yeah, I can't, I was gonna say, I can do that because at 1 o'clock, the Bills are in the playoffs and I'm definitely watching that because it's a rarity. So,
okay. You kind of have to be there if you're taking these decorations home, or we could just drop them off in your driveway.
hear me cursing obscenities or something at a ref. Yeah.
Ring his doorbell and run.
You have to watch Buffalo, Mark, because nobody will ever see a playoff game in Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, no, they can host the Super Bowl or something again.
They'll never host a Super Bowl at Buffalo. So it's an outdoor stadium. It's been like 25 years since they've hosted a game.
So if there's anything anyone can think of needed between now and March, as far as update, go ahead.
Well, Fred was starting to ask me. Yes, I did contact that company about the arbor. We haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to talk to them. I did send them all the information and so on. And I did get from Great Lakes Metal Fabricating, I did get a quote from them on the arbor, doing the round arbor, that's 12 foot wide and 12 foot tall. But it doesn't include the emblems. He didn't include the emblems in the quote. And that quote was about $8,300 to build a metal arbor. We would have to
Archway.
provide the footings on the two ends. They would install it onto our footings.
Okay.
It would be black. It would be 4 rolls of 2-inch 2-inch steel posts, you know, that are bent, and then they would have 3/4-inch cross members, you know, to support everything. And then they still got to get back to me with the prices on doing the emblems, because we were talking about how to different ways to do it. One of them would be taking metal and actually laser cutting the emblems into the metal.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And but
Yeah.
you know, I don't have any numbers on that yet. I hope to have them relatively soon. And one of the things, the center one, the 2-foot, all of them are 18-inch diameter, except the center one was going to be the American flag or possibly an eagle. But I sent them a copy of our flyer, and you know where we have the 4 soldiers that are standing and that, you know, not to be forgotten. I can't
Never
remember.
forget their service. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that might be a better thing to use than the American flag in the center, because that really signifies what we're trying to do. But you know, as I get the information, I'll forward it to everybody so they can see it. Okay.
What are the chances of maybe putting the village logo in there somewhere?
This is my personal opinion. I still want to keep this separate from the village. It is a separate entity.
Okay. Okay.
And I really kind of would prefer to maintain that. But, you know, but you guys, but then again, I don't live in the village. So, you know, I'm the only non-village person here. So, but the village will have, you know, if we do the sign by the entrance to the parking lot and everything, there will be recognition there.
Yeah.
And it is still a separate entity from the village, you know, like everybody can thank Kelly and Mark. They've shoveled the snow there a couple of times. And, you know, so we have been, as a committee, we have been maintaining it and everything. So
It is village property at the end of the day, the memorial and everything else. But at the same time, yeah, as you said, we are operating in we have not put the full onus on them to maintain it yet, to do all that work. We as a committee are working at the idea of having enough funds that there is monies in the future for future maintenance and taking care of it. If we really want to get an emblem of the village in the memorial, we could get a brick and have them do the emblem of the village and put it in the path or something like that too, because that would be an effective way to kind of.
Well, and the village will get recognition because they donated the American flag.
Yep.
You know, in that poll, didn't they?
And and it's in the village, so the village is getting the good press every time. So.
You know, and I mean, it's clear from past conversations we have about how, you know, the DPW really doesn't have time to do any of the maintenance in and around the memorial. So that's why we're kind of taking care of that ourselves.
Yeah.
You just need to fundraise.
If anybody's interested, the archway at the War Dog Memorial is at like 1 mile in Milford. And if you haven't seen one, it's really, really nice. It's archway that goes across the path. If you just wanted to go for a drive one day, you can see exactly what something would look like.
No, that is a really nice. I've been to the War Dog Memorial.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
The archway really is. I mean, talk about setting the kind of just the course of what you're going to see when you go in. It's I mean, the whole thing. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we can move on if we're done with that. Marketing and social media campaign. So as far as the corporate letter, Mark has completed that. I think you had updated the photo to the most recent photo that we had for the memorial. And so at this point, we could just ask the village office to print them out if we needed corporate letters. But we're all set to go in that department. So even having a few made up, and then when you're out shopping or near a business that you think may participate, we can ask for a manager and just, spread word of mouth. I know, I realize it's hard to get into some businesses because of the pandemic right now. So you may have to call or leave it in a drop box. But if people are out there making contact, if you're interested, let me know, because I could get some printed up to the village. And usually a small amount that I'm not going to get charged for, but if we're wanting like hundreds of these, then we will have to take them to like Staples to have them printed. But at least we have it completed, and it's at our disposal when we are ready to go. Unfortunately, there's no garden expo to do this year. I don't know, Ron.
No, they're talking about it. They're talking
They
about the one in April. Yeah, I already got advertising from
okay.
them to do those.
Okay.
And there are other possible means of maybe coming up with some other ideas, or even again, part of it would go back to the village. If I don't know if they have a newsletter, or give us a little bit bigger exposure when it comes to their website and everything, things like that would be possible. And
Yeah.
even once in a while, when there's nothing happening in the village, and they want to put things on those electronic boards about the memorial, visit the memorial, or brick donations, or whatever.
There is I think usually there is a brick ad in that cycle.
There is.
Buy a brick.
It runs quite often.
It's a little difficult right now because it says to come in to order one, but you can't really go into the village without making an appointment right now. So it's a little.
We do get exposure in the spring and fall newsletters that the village prints. I know the last one was in the spinal column. They didn't print a separate pamphlet like they usually do. Usually Tabitha sends me a notice when they're getting ready to print something. If I want to spruce up or change any language, we can do that. So definitely.
Or really, how much would an ad in the spinal column be to offset, like if we get enough, or when we're looking for people to make donations, maybe somebody can sponsor an ad,
Yeah, and that kind of leads to social media. We've gotten really tremendous exposure on Facebook. The photo that that Mark took.
Yeah, I know. I took hundreds and hundreds of photos, and Mark takes one or three.
I've taken like a dozen. I've taken like at least a dozen.
They were. That was a great photo.
That was
beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It has over 2,300 views. It might be even up to 24 by now, but it's got quite a bit of exposure.
Have we been able to track if any of that exposure has led to contributions or brick sales or anything?
Not directly, but I think more people and businesses are starting to like our Facebook page. And so it is getting exposure to veterans groups. I do know that. So we're coming out of Wolverine Lake and getting out into the world slowly. So I know a lot of that is just keeping the momentum going. So Mark, you need to take another wonderful picture soon.
Right.
but but
Wait
I-
till the spring though.
oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
Can we-
till the
could-
flowers and everything.
On the Facebook page, can you put a link to like a document? So
Sure.
that you could
We c-
theoretically put the business letter.
I would love
and
to do
then
that.
That way,
Oh, that would
businesses,
be great.
interested businesses click here, and that way they can take it and run with it. And then
Yes.
also, I just want to mention that if members can get a badge if they want, an ID from the village hall. So if you do decide to go soliciting, you look less questionable.
You're legit.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Oh, right. Veterans Memorial business cards.
That would work too.
Yes.
Hey,
Where you're,
I just want to show you this real quick.
Yeah.
For people who are, I don't know if you can see, that's the archway going, or the arbor going into the war dogs.
Mhm.
the dog, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that you can see that at all, but
Nice.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
Yeah.
But I would like at least 10 of those letters.
Okay.
And then, go ahead, Fred.
I'll have some too.
Yeah,
I'll have some too.
Okay.
yeah. I think all of us should have some.
Yes. I will contact the office and see, since they are color,
Mhm.
we may have to go to like Staples and print them, but we can handle that. We've got
how
money in
many
our.
are you looking to do?
Well, I
100?
think if we're going to do some, I think the
Yeah.
village could handle if we wanted like 30, they could print those out, no problem. But if we want 100 plus, we need to go to Staples and do that.
I mean, how many
'cause-
businesses are there? Are there 100 businesses in the area that could be tackled? I
Oh.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Easy.
Sure.
Yeah, what about
Um,
mega printing? Wouldn't they do them for nothing?
Well, how do I say this? Well, we had an experience with mega printing, and it really didn't go so well.
It was not ideal.
So,
Wasn't? Okay.
we really like to support local businesses, and I don't want to, I don't want to say anything
Got it.
negative, but
Got
Um,
it, Kelly, got it.
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a right fit for us. But yeah, I think maybe going to Staples or something. So that would be an expense. And do we want to set money aside right now while we're together to cover the cost of that? And, if there's a future show to do, keep in mind, it might be, maybe we do 250 of these instead of 100.
But the show ones and going to businesses are two different ones. Because if you go to a show, we can make color copies. That's easy at home.
we still have a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of flyers that could go
Right.
into the shows. We don't need to make any more. I
Exactly.
mean, the flyers we have, I think, are plenty good if I remember them.
No, they're
The
beautiful.
only thing they lack is an actual physical photo now of the memorial, because those flyers do have the rendering. I believe.
But if you're passing them out at,
Yeah, it's not a huge issue, and I think
Right, at shows.
and I've been using them to refill the take one boxes over by the memorial, which reminds me I got to go do that. But yeah, so we have not a lot of brochures left, but still quite a few flyers left.
Okay, so do we want to set some funds aside to go ahead for cover printing costs right now?
well, I'd like to make a motion to go up to $100 on printing costs for the letters. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Mhm.
And I'll second
Okay.
that.
Okay. Motion by Ron, second by Debbie, and then roll call.
Roll call. Meisner.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Kruger.
Yes.
Psycho.
Yes.
Long break.
Yes.
Jeremini is yes. Melvin is on the phone.
Well, she's second, so that's got to be a yes.
Print business letters. I don't think we need, 100 I think would be probably pretty good to kick off. Unless
Yes.
there's like a discount at 125 or something. But
Well, you get 100, and then I think your next discount would be around 250. They
Price
usually,
break.
yeah.
that's usually where they do their price breaks based on the kind of printing I've had done in the
Okay.
past.
So motion carries. Yeah. And then any comments from anyone?
Just something you and I had talked about a little bit because you got that contact about regards to the photo and all that, and that was considering expanding our products. So
Yes.
I was fiddling on Shutterfly, doing a gift for my parents and stuff, and I got them an ornament. But you get a bunch of free stuff, sort of free stuff on Shutterfly when you first join. So I got like this is a magnet, for example. It's the memorial on a magnet and things like that. And then I did a print like this that I got for free. And then we were talking about some other things of do we want to consider, something for us to consider going forward is creating, especially when we start the spring and we start being able to get some really nice pictures then too, of just things with the pictures of the memorial on them that we can sell that aren't going to be $100, but sell that costs $5 and you sell for 20 and things like that, and can help to raise funds and continue to supplement the memorial.
Yeah. So before the meeting started, Debbie and Lori and myself all touched in on this exact thing because I gave them a sneak peek.
Oh, well.
But just to let you know, like when we were talking, we all thought like a mug, a travel mug, and maybe a coffee mug were both good marketing tools that were, practical. Someone's going to use them. They make a good gift, and people are going to see it. So we can definitely look into costs for maybe doing some drinking vessels. Drinking.
Mark, do you think that would fit on a hat?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it's a matter of the hat's ability to, the hat maker.
How about
more than-
mask?
Probably. I mean, it's all a matter of, the image is what it is because it was taken from a phone. So it's not that high quality technically or that highly pixelated.
Well, I
But
mean, yeah.
it should, I was thinking like maybe like a canvas bag or something like that even.
Beach
But,
bag?
yeah, something like that. Where, because I do like the idea that people aren't just, it's not just necessarily on their fridge, but if they're carrying it around somewhere.
Well, it would have
You'll
been
notice
nice
it
if we
too.
could have put a little calendar on the bottom, but since onwards and upwards, they have the beautiful camera.
Yeah, we did
I
that.
mean, beautiful calendar.
Yeah.
Kelly
Kelly and
so.
I, we were on there. So.
I told Debbie our dilemma,
I
It's
bought
hard
one
to-
of the calendars. They're beautiful.
Good. Thank you. So we can look into that, what the cost would be to make up some mugs and cups, and we could have them up at the village for sale. Or if we, do an event in the future, we've got them.
I mean, it'd also be good, like in some of those cases, gifts for, large donors and things like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Little
Nice to
swag
have
for them. Yeah.
some swag. Yeah.
Exactly.
I got 2 pairs of gloves from the wounded veterans, along with a calendar and stuff, trying to solicit me to donate money. This is because I have donated money in the past. I get barraged by little these little calendars,
Calendars?
planners, that have have all sorts of stuff in them. I mean, they send this stuff to me for free, hoping that I'll turn around and send them at least $30-$40.
Yes.
Oh, it's like the address labels and stuff. Yeah. I mean,
And you
Yeah.
see, they end
Yeah.
up in a box.
Yeah.
And then the year is passed and then those are history.
Well, I have a whole collection of Christmas cards, everyday cards and everything. And you know, I've always, as soon as I use one, I send them a check. You know, it's one of these deals. If they're just sitting there and I never use them, I don't feel obligated to send them a check. But as soon as I use one, I do send a check. So I am gullible.
See, when I get that stuff, I'm like, oh, what a bunch of suckers giving me
What's
all
that?
this free stuff. I just call them suckers for giving me free stuff because
Or I like the ones that send you like 50 cents, you know.
yeah, free money.
Yeah.
The cost of a stamp to send the donation back.
Okay, so here's something that I forgot to put in the agenda, but Mark and I noticed the last time we were out there removing snow that there was a dog inside the memorial that had went pee-pee. So we can't have dogs urinating in a memorial. So I think we need to post a sign in front. I mean, I know this is obvious to all of us of the respect you should give when you enter a memorial, but it is not made clear to everyone in society. So I think we may need to, post a sign, show some reverence, show some respect. We need to,
Was the dog on a leash?
No, it was just remnants. It wasn't. We didn't see the actual
Oh.
show.
we didn't see it in action. We're
Okay.
removing snow, and Mark noticed it. So yeah, we can't. I mean, it's just.
It
I
could have
think
been
it
a
happens
wild
so
animal.
seldom.
It could have been a wild animal. I mean, I don't necessarily know.
You
I
know,
just
it
said,
could-
but there was
I think it
definitely
happens-
action. So
I don't know, but yeah,
it's something we can keep an eye on. Like, if we notice it, like the next time it snows, if we go out there and we notice
Maybe it was a deer.
I mean, there could be there were tracks of other
possible.
things too, but there were at the same time,
Yeah.
there were dog prints as well. So that's one of the,
they were dog prints, so that's how we knew it was a
well, we
dog.
knew there were dogs there, but there was definitely some other wildlife as well. But so I can't for certain say it was a dog, but you would
And
hope
if it's a male dog, it doesn't do any harm to the plants. Only the female dogs create
No.
problems.
no ladies allowed.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Jeez. Oh.
no comment.
Oh my
Only
gosh.
only a true gardener would say that.
Right.
Well, it's the truth. It's the truth.
So I need to know when my neighbors, if their dog gets out and pees in my garden, the gender before I start yelling at them.
Oh,
Exactly.
God. Well, anyway, I don't know. We can keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
The snow leaves a telltale sign. So, yeah, I just, hate the idea of, I hope no one spits out their gum. I
Mhm.
hope no one litters. I really hope people respect the place. So we can just keep an eye on it if you like.
Another reason to have a video camera,
Yes.
security camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be something we can look into security wise, getting a camera. We have the electricity. We can hardwire something on a repeat loop that repeats every emotion detector, repeats every week or every 2 weeks, or I don't know if that's getting the deer camera, like
I think
You-
Fred mentioned that last time.
yeah.
They do work.
Yeah, so we'll try to see if we can get something. I'll write that in there. Any other closing thoughts? All right,
Good.
we'll just need a motion to adjourn then.
Do we have I guess we already know the date for March, right?
Yeah, the first Thursday. I don't know the date, but
Yeah.
the I'll look it up
It's
real
not like
quick.
we have guests.
So it would be the 4th.
Okay.
March 4th would be our next meeting. So just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Melvin. I think Lori beat
second
you.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I think she snuck
Hold
her
on.
hand up. So long break second. All those in favor? Mark?
Roll call. Melvin,
Yes.
Long Break,
Yes.
Psycho,
Yes.
Jeremy's yes, Kruger,
Yes.
Meisner.
Yes.
Thank you.
We might be able to meet in person in March, right?
Probably not.
Probably not.
The Open Meetings Act amendment was extended to the end of March. So that we
And
can
if
meet in
if
person.
I can get
Thanks,
Bonnie,
everyone. I'm going to go ahead and turn off YouTube at this point.